Hey guys, today I want to talk about recovery breathing, also known in the freediving world as hook breathing. Basically, it's a safety concept to allow you to get oxygen back to your brain in the quickest way possible after a breath hold. I found this technique has helped me countless times in heavy wave situations, where I've been caught inside and had to wear, somewhere between 8, 10, 12 waves some days in a row on the head, where you only have 2 to 5 seconds in between wipeouts, and then you might be underwater for 10 or 15 seconds in each wipeout, and just slowly, more and more and more, you're just going to get completely exhausted. But this hook breathing, I found, has been a game changer for me in big wave surfing. So I'll try to break it down simply. What you do after a big breath hold, especially at the end of a big free dive. We'll talk about more of doing it at the end of a static breath hold or a free dive rather than the surfing for right now, just so you can practice it yourself. But as we've practiced our one big breaths before, imagine you're at the end of your breath hold. So I'll take my one big breath and I will hold it for a few seconds, and then I'll demonstrate the recovery breathing, then I'll break it down. So back to normal breathing. One of the first things you'll want to do after a big breath hold is, breathe all your air out and try to take a really big breath. By doing that, that's going to take your body around 20 to 30 seconds to get that fresh oxygen delivered to the brain. Hook breathing, recovery breathing, can get that fresh oxygen to your brain in as little as 5, 6, 7 seconds. Okay, so that's going to, when you're at the end of a breath hold and your body's craving oxygen, your vital organs are craving oxygen, especially your brain, this recovery breathing is going to get it there as quick as possible. So at the end of a breath hold, what you want to do is, rather than let all your air out, just take a passive exhale followed by a really quick inhale. And then we're going to hold that for 1 to 2 seconds while we tense our belly muscles. And then we're going to repeat that 2 to 3 times, all right? And then followed by normal breathing again. The two advantages of this that I found, especially in big wave surfing, is by not releasing all the air in your lungs to make way for all that new air, you're not going to sink down in the water. Imagine you come up from a wipeout and you're in a lot of whitewash. If you breathe all your air out, you're going to become negatively buoyant and sink like a stone. So by keeping most of the air in your lungs and just releasing the top 20%, say, you're really going to still keep that flotation, keep that buoyancy, and at the end of a free dive or a breath hold, that's what you really want. So guys, I'll just demonstrate it again. This is something you can practice anywhere, anytime. Just be mindful that if you do it not after a long breath hold, you will feel a bit lightheaded from it, because getting that oxygen to the brain really quickly, you're almost over-oxygenating your brain. So you will feel a little bit lightheaded, a little sense of euphoria, and just know that that's what you want to be feeling, because at the end of a breath hold, you want that oxygen there as quickly as possible. But also, any breath training that you're doing, just try to make this a habit. If you can do it every time, then in a month or two, it's something you won't even have to think about. It'll be a natural reaction just to do your hook breathing. So I'll break it down. First thing, we've got a big breath of air. I've come up from a wipeout. Back to normal breathing. Okay, so you basically just want to take a passive exhale, and that's just letting a little bit of air out of your lungs, and then you want to suck it in really quickly. You want to make a hook sound, a hook, like, and this is where it gets its name, hook breathing. So the H-O-O is the, and then the K is when you tense your belly muscles. Your diaphragm is like, but without saying the K. So it's imagine you go to say the K, but you don't. You say it with your diaphragm and your belly. And basically that creates some high pressure in your belly, in your diaphragm, in your lungs, and that will send that oxygen to where the low pressure is in your brain from coming up from that breath hold. We want to hold in between each hook breath for 1 or 2 seconds while we tense our belly muscles, and then we go back to normal breathing after 3 of those. So we'll try it one more time. Awesome. You will feel that lightheadedness now. So yeah, please be careful trying this. Make sure you're sitting down when you're practicing at home. There's a lot more information in the PDF that comes with this video. So have a read of that, watch the video again, and practice this as much as you can. It's a really, really great way to stay relaxed and comfortable in a heavy surfing situation.